So I have another difficult question, but this time I will ask Anna first, so you can think about this. So Anna, you have been a time into business, so I'm wondering how was it to work with Gustavo differently than from other artists?
Well, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna lie here. So the
Think
first
about
time
your words, lady.
no, it's gonna be positive. Don't worry.
Be
No, it's
gentle.
just
Be
like,
gentle.
I had an idea, like, okay, I'm gonna ask Gustavo about his work, but I had in mind, like, as it is usual, that he would ask for a lot of money we couldn't pay, because he works with big names, and then it goes in the business like that they tell you a price normally you cannot really easily pay. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask him, but I was like sure that he would say a price where we couldn't. And in the end, it turned out absolutely different. And he was absolutely open to, like, he's open to new bands. It's not like you feel like you are smaller, so you don't matter. So it was absolutely different, and we were like friendly with, like, we could friendly talk to each other from the first moment. So I never felt like we were just a small band and we didn't matter. So it was absolutely positive, and then I didn't fear. I wasn't afraid to ask, questions and tell my shitty ideas to him, because he was open to those. So he was really great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now it's Gustavo's turn to say how Mezmerized was differently than working with other bands.
Oh, how they were different.
Be gentle.
Are you from Buda or Pest?
But no, it depends which time you are asking, because I lived in Buda, I lived in Pest, so originally from
You're
Buda.
from both, right?
But from both, yeah.
Yeah. So you see, it's a band from both cities, so that's the difference.
But that's just one city with two parts.
Yeah, no, but it used to be two.
But yeah, it used to be.
How they were different. Any band committed to their work is different in a way. And Mezmerized showed me passion, love, and confidence over the work, which are three qualities that I don't see much, nor in world-class famous bands, nor even beginning bands or medium bands or whatever. It's really hard to have those three qualities together. And that's really great for inspiration, right? And it's really great to work with bands like that because, as I always told Anna, I do my best to be part of the team to produce the best thing that I think fits their music. And as I always say to my clients, the better the environment, the better for us. So the better relation that we have. You don't have to be my friend, There's a difference here between being a friend, which will eventually happen because you have a good relation, and being strictly professional.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be both or extremes.
Okay.
You have to be, have to be thoughtful, have to challenge each other, have to trust each other. Anna had to trust my artistic view, and it paid off. I have to trust the band about whatever we had to trust. We have to have some confidence in whatever we do. The band has the confidence to do their music and put out everything that it must do. And I have to be confident again over them to show them, though, this is how you're going to be shown to the world. That's how you're going to be presented to the world, right? So that's the thing that makes Mezmerized different from other bands. Some other bands, yeah, are strictly professional. You're just a gear on a machine full of other gears, and sometimes you're just your friend that you're working with, and there's extremes on it. But when you got everything mixed up with perfect balance, you know, that's where the magic happens, because there's the best environment for you to work, and that's why Mezmerized is a great band, and that's why I feel really comfortable in working with them, and I hope to work with them even more in the future albums or whatever, unless I die or Anna or Anna kicks my butt or whatever,
That's really an extreme.
or Anna will be really really famous diva something and say, oh, I don't need you anymore.
Ah, no, it's not gonna happen. I'm not the type.
I don't want you anymore.
No, but like there is a little secret here. Like I remember when we did the booklet of the album, and
Okay.
I sent everything over to Gustavo, like every lyrics and everything we wanted to have in it. And I sent the last page where we said the thank you part, like 4 or 5 times back, because he did it. It was awesome. I just always realized I forgot a name. I forgot a name again, and I was like, when we arrived at the fourth time, I was so afraid. Like I have to tell him again. I forgot something. And he was so kind. Like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it.
What happened? If I were in a band, I would never write those thanks lists, because I would keep forgetting everyone. So I would just thank you for buying it. Fuck it. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always forgetting some whatever, always.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, because someday I'm gonna say to a band, oh, if you send me out text without revisions, I'm gonna pay you back twice. Just for the band to do that. Bands will never do that, because they always keep remaking those thanks lists, the credits, and they always keep writing stuff wrong, because that's what it happens, right? You have your lyrics, you record them. It happens a lot. You record them, send me the lyrics, and then you check the lyrics. Oh, I haven't sang like that on the album. I have to change the lyrics. I say, what? What?
Well,
You sang it wrong. It's your music. You sang it wrong. You have to make it wrong. It was right, and then they recorded, and now it's wrong, and then we have to rewrite the lyrics because you made it wrong. Now it's better because whatever reason. Let's change it again. Okay. No problem. No problem. It takes more time doing that part than the whole artwork. We just yeah. Takes a lot of time sometimes. Just with revisions, text revisions. And if you think about just one album, now if you think it's going to be an album and an LP and a digipack, whatever extra, and Japanese editions with whatever extra, and sometimes you have 4 or 5 different products with one mistake that you have to do in 4 rounds. But usually there's just not one mistake. There's like 1,000 mistakes. We're making 4, 5, 10 products. If you're a band like, for example, Camelot, they release like box set sets, singles, yearbooks, media books, CDs, Japan, or LPs. Oh, there's a shitload of things to be done. So,
it's really hard because you always feel like, I thought this through and I know what I want, and I don't know how many times I kept reading it, and I was so sure it was okay. And then I went to sleep, and before I could fall asleep, I started to think like something is missing, and then I realized, one name is missing, and then
have you forgot to thank your mom? Oh, mom! Thank you, mom, for whatever.
But Gustavo, before you said that you don't listen music when you do the artwork for a band, right?
Never.
But you read the lyrics.
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's why you get the inspiration.
Well, I got inspiration
Let's see, yes, about Mezmerized.
for for the lyrics. I don't remember if I read much of the lyrics. Sometimes not always the lyrics. Sometimes not always the lyrics. Sometimes you just read the name of the song,
Oh, the title.
or sometimes you just read quotes or just choruses, or maybe just one song is enough for you to get, you know,
The idea.
that's the quote. You know, yeah. Sometimes when you're looking for a cover, when you try to create an idea,
Mhm.
you don't have to be that complex. For example, I think a great covers, you describe them in one sentence. If you spend more than one sentence to describe a cover, that's way too much. You just lost me. I'm way there. You know, I'm not there anymore. So thinking about that, you just have to look for that quote. You know, that sentence that defines the mood, that defines the line. That's maybe it's a chorus, maybe it's a bridge, maybe it's just the name of a song, and maybe that name of the song inspires me to research into something because I have to do some research of, oh, maybe that's aesthetics that I want to look for, maybe that's those kind of pictures that I need on the cover, maybe I have to check my image bank, I have to produce some lot of stuff for the covers, or I have to hand draw some things or whatever. But there's a starting point. The starting point maybe is something that we talk during the briefing, right? Or it's something that you read on the lyrics, but I don't have to read all the lyrics because when I find the quote, okay, that's enough. I don't have to read anything else just to, you know, it's like when you know it feels right, it feels right. You don't have to have second guesses. You know?
Whatever comes first.
Yeah, whatever comes first. You know, first came, first served, right?
Yes.
That's the idea.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Interesting. So, Anna, do you have a question for Gustavo?
The answer is no. Okay.
That's what you want to hear, but maybe Anna has something interesting.
Maybe I could ask when he's ready to create new design for us. No, you should always be ready because we have ideas
I'm
already.
always ready.
Oh well, that's hard because I ask him a lot of questions all the
Yeah.
time when we are talking to each other. But let me think here. What should I ask? But I didn't dare to ask.
Why did you use that font on my album? Oh, please on your album.
No, but really, you are never like you don't ever feel like angry or something when somebody sends back, the stuff again and again to change something.
I'm a really good actor.
I thought so.
I learned how to meditate. You know? No, I'm mad about things, but I'm never mad. If you know what I'm mad, you know, that's not working. You know that I'm mad about you in the wrong way. Easily. So, but I usually I'm really really cool to work with. I have my days, of course. Sometimes I'm not on my highest of spirit.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm really okay. Let's work. I'm human, right? Everyone has his ups and downs. So, actually, more downs than ups, right? Nowadays, right?
We are
No,
not
it must be really hard. Like,
To keep
I mean, I work with musicians in the band, and I know how hard it is. Like, we are not really always there, like, we cannot have all the thoughts, at the same place when we need them. So it's like, it must be horrible to work with so many artists and bands, and oh my God, it must be hard.
It's different, right? You learn how to work with them. Maybe I work with bands in like more than 40 countries, so it's a lot of bands in a lot of places around the world, with a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people, a lot of different whatever, a lot of people that don't even speak English or Portuguese or Spanish or whatever language that I pretend to speak, aside Portuguese. Uh, but I learned how to deal with them, to deal with different people, to learn how to work my way around all those problems, because people are different, right? But at the same time, oh, that kind is problematic, and I see that coming, but sometimes I have to work with it, right?
But then I'm
And
wondering, like the language barrier, if the band doesn't speak English, how do you communicate? This is great. This is what I want.
yeah, well, thanks God there's Google Translator, right?
Yeah.
Because they do that. Well, there's some bands that for example, my wife speaks Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, and I got a lot of Spanish bands.
You understand Spanish?
I understand barely.
Yeah,
But I
because
don't
almost
speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak
almost the
Spanish.
same
I
language.
speak Spanish like a Tarantino movie, like a Tarantino movie. I don't speak Spanish. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. But there's a guy it's funny because he speaks Spanish with me, and I always speak English with him, and we understand each other. I don't know how, because. And I tried to speak Portuguese, I think, with him, and he said, no, better to speak English. Say, okay. he was always answer me stuff in Spanish, and I'm always speaking to him in English.
Okay.
He's not using some really hard words for me to understand. Maybe he's like, okay, let me slow down a thing, choose wisely my words for this pendejo to understand, right? But that's the type of guy. Or sometimes the guy starts the email saying, "Oh, Gustavo, my English is not good. Sorry, thank you," and then goes and say, "Okay, that's right." Then it works. It works.
So you are resolving the problem by Google Translate, but it's not a flawless system. Sometimes
I speak English and say, "Fuck it, you just have to deal with it." I don't know.
But any funny situations or funny scenarios when something?
No. But when we got those kind of situations that that the guy is really struggling with English, it's when you have to really take care, because something may be really weird with the translation, and the guy maybe will be understanding something different. Maybe he got the idea wrong, or think that you do a lot of more things that was a deal or less or whatever. So sometimes you have to play different, because you have to. Are you sure you understood what I did? So let me rephrase here. I'm gonna say this and that. I'm gonna do this and that, whatever. And the guy say, "Oh yes, I understood," or whatever. You see, that's what happens. But I never went into something like lost in translation, whatever. So
Amazing.
never. As far as I remember, maybe I had and then not even noticed it. So. Which is stupid. And maybe I should look at my emails again. Okay.
So another question. On your office, is that chocolate?
No, not chocolates. Sadly not.
So I have a question to Anna. Basically, Anna, if we could, I don't know, in few words, how would you recommend Gustavo for new for customers, as from your experience?
Choose your words wisely.
Yes.
He's looking at me and I cannot say anything. I don't have to think about it, because since we started to work together, I was absolutely happy about everything, it's one thing that somebody gets what you want and he can create the designs you really are looking for. That's just one thing. But like as I said before, that he's so open to everything and you can talk to him. That's really, really rare. So it's not like just one email and then you say something and he says a price and then that's it, and then you never hear from him again. But you can talk to him. You can, like, we had a lot of fun when we, talked and then stuff like that. So he's very friendly, and he's not, as I said before, it wasn't like we were just a small band and we didn't matter. Everybody matters, I believe, to him. So that's really really great. So everybody go to Gustavo.
Thank you. No, not everybody. Not everybody.
Not everybody, but not everybody.
Not the ones,
100 emails.
Not the best for my blacklist. Those are the ones that I get.
and not the ones,
Okay.
and not the ones who say, "I want the same cover artwork as this other band you worked with." That are the blacklist.
No. Not a chance. Look for another guy. Or the guy comes to me showing artworks from another guy. Say, I want to do this. To do,
Something like this.
Okay, this guy has an email and here is your phone. So call him to do that artwork that you want to do. And the guy say, "Oh, but you don't do that." No, you have to call that guy because you surely love this guy, and for whatever reason you're calling me. A, you already call him and you cannot pay his price, and 2, or B, you whatever think I'm a copycat or some source that I can do whatever I please and just copy other artists' ideas or something. Don't do that. Don't be that guy, please. Don't do that. I will crazily will say no to you. It will be really good for me to say no to you because I would not work with you.
And you will be on the blacklist.
No, don't be on a blacklist. There's no list for you. You don't even my email. You say there's not good. Just if you want to do your homework, if you want to work with a guy or with a band or whatever, look for the guy. Mm-hmm. Learn who's the guy, what kind of work he does, his style, whatever. It works for anything in music or whatever. For example, if you're a band and you want a certain type of sound on a record, you're gonna go to the producer that gets that sound, right? You're gonna go to that studio that gets that sound. It's really not good when you go to another professional and say, "Oh, can you copy that studio sound to my sound for half price?" No, right? You don't do that. It's really disrespectful.
Like from metal to pop.
I know sometimes, we don't have that much money to do whatever with that artist or do whatever with that studio or their producer. That's another matter. But then you have to adapt. You don't simply go to another cheaper version of whatever you want, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's not good. You're just cutting corners in something that you will regret a lot later. You have to invest whatever you have into something, but don't do that because it's disrespectful with me or with the band or with the other artist, with the other producer, whatever. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Just be cool. Present yourself and be cool. We just want to be cool with each other. That's the main spirit here. Be cool to yourself, right? And to the others.
Great vision. So we have here Rafael Tavares saying, "My band hasn't even started recording our album, but one thing is for sure, Gustavo is doing the cover. That's how great he is."
Am I?
Yes.
Apparently.
No, I will. I promise I will.
So what's the band of Rafael Tavares?
I don't remember.
So please, Rafael Tavares, let us know.
Just I think he was my student when I was a teacher doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, years and years ago when I was a kid or whatever. And now, back again.
Okay, so let's do a final question.
What's the most challenging artwork that you designed for a band? Most challenging. Let me think. I think every cover is a challenge. I already told that, right?
Yeah.
Every cover has a challenge. There's nothing like, oh, create cover artwork on Photoshop, right? Add skulls, add background, add logo, add evil logo, add blood. There's nothing like that, you know? I really wish that it was really simple like that. No templates, cover artwork,
Yes.
get whatever you want, you know? It would be really better for me, but okay. I all I can say about this, not a band, but a challenge cover. I already said that a few questions ago. A challenge cover is when you got the really shitty idea and you have to turn that into really some cool cover, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some. Well, and when I say shitty idea, I'm not saying it's shit because it's shit, you know, but because it's lame, you know, it's not very thoughtful. It's so boring that you say, I will die doing this. But maybe there's something there that you can, okay, let's try to do that, you know? And sometimes those boring ideas turn into really good covers for whatever reason. I don't know. It happened. I don't have all the answers. They just happen to happen, you know? Something like that. But that's the challenge part. Oh, and if you work with your idols, that's the worst of all. Because you're pushing yourself to a limit that you say it's never enough, never good enough. Because you say, and also you keep telling yourself, now on my turn they decide to do a shitty cover, you know, and they got a lot of covers well done by another artist, and on my time doing the cover, they had the worst idea ever, and I'll be blamed forever because of that, and that's really challenging. That's a great challenge because you have to overcome that thought. Only you think about that, you know, or me. I'm the only one thinking about that because the band trusts me to do that. If the band thought that I was not up to the task to do that, they would never hire me, right?
Yeah.
When you're working with your idols, you're like, am I ready to do that? Am I going to do that? Will my art be one of the best? Will be celebrated by the fans? Will the fans love it? As a fan, will I love it, the art or what? It's really hard, and I had to fit those shoes in my feet sometimes because I used to work, and now for sure I will work yet with a lot of bands that I'm fan with. But all the time that I worked with the bands that was a huge fan, I was literally asking that to myself, and it was really challenging, really hard. That was, a struggle between me and the scream and the idea, and I was not really comfortable about it. And I say, how can I change that? How can I? It's really hard, really hard. That's the real challenge. That's a real challenge.
So that's all.
No, I have a question. Just Gustavo mentioned.
Say. Our challenge too.
Understood that we never ask you what tools do you use for your project.
Oh, yeah. I use my hands, my brain.
Your glasses?
Yeah, my glasses. Yeah. I use Photoshop. I use Illustrator. I use, in terms of Art Rage, whatever I think it's useful for me to draw and to compose photos or whatever. Sometimes I do stuff manually, then I photograph and I paint something manually and photograph and turn into digital for me to rework whatever way I wanted. So sometimes it's really a mixed process of organic stuff and digital stuff, but the result is digital, right? So it doesn't matter whatever you mix. It's always digital. I never had a full-on organic stuff done and whatever. But maybe sometime in the future. I don't know. I really don't want to mess around with my things here because there'll be a lot of inks everywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that much yet.
And did you how do you call it? I forgot. You know the thing that you put it on your head and you can paint with your hands. VCR. It's some new technology. You know, there is like a game when you like when you
VR,
turn on reality. Yeah, VR.
VR stuff.
Yeah, VR.
I never did that. Never did that. Can you do that? Really?
Yeah.
No,
Maybe it's used for like different things, but yeah.
No, never did that. I didn't know you can do that. Really? I have to try that with my PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
First, I have to buy a VR. Then I have to do if it works.
Yeah.
It will never work. And then I'll get back to Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a dream to have a screen like the size of my wall. That will be that's the dream.
Oh, that would be cool.
A screen the size of my wall that I can touch screen like full size, whatever, like a wall, not a screen, it's a wall, digital wall for me to work, and also to play games. Right? That would be my dream.
Here we have the name of the band of Rafael.
Mama Voodoo.
Office.
Oh yeah, of course, that's Mama Voodoo. I remember the name now.
In the Office, very good series.
Ah, The Office, yeah. Great. I watched all series from on The Office.
So I don't see anything else here.
No more favorites?
No more favorites.
The answer is always no before the question is done.
We are wrapping up so he can back to his study and create more art and debate artwork concept. So we want to thank all viewers who participated, watched, and asked questions. And we want to thank Gustavo for telling us about his project, the artwork, the struggles he has as an artist. We put all the links below, and we want to thank our secret guest for tonight, Mezmerized, who gave a little bit depth on the collaboration with Gustavo. And yeah, we will post also the links of Mezmerized for those who are jealous and want to get an electrolyzed CD. We will post also the links in YouTube and on the group, and subscribe as we will be back next week. And join our group to keep in touch with the Metal Galaxy news. So I'm giving the guys Gustavo first to round it up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, girls. Thank you, everyone. Not you, both guy, because you keep asking me shitty questions about this, and I hate you. Malaka from hell. I fucking hate you. Thank you, Anna, for being there. I know you're a bit of foreshadowed by the bald guy because he was using your shirt and say, why on earth this guy wearing that shirt? From all the shirts in his wardrobe, he chose that shirt to be used, right?
But that shirt looks the best.
I saw that coming. I fucking knew it in my gut. I knew it.
No,
There's
you
some
didn't.
shady stuff behind the curtain here.
No,
Yes.
you didn't.
And the girl with the purple shirt too, because there's purple on that cover too. I said, there's purple on that shirt. Maybe that's another indication that Anna is gonna be there too.
Yeah.
What do I have to do with purple?
Yeah. Because purple is there on the shirt, but it's not there at the cover. So maybe there's a connection between, There's my mind, working with some probabilities of connection that doesn't exist,
Yeah, we
Also
brought.
inspiration for those things to happen.
You won't be sleeping now one day because you have so many colors, inspirations, and so on.
I need to watch a black and white movie now just to be more, clean my mind, right?
Yeah.
So We are passing the microphone to Anna so she can wrap up the final words.
Thank you so much for having me. And this was the first time I talked to Gustavo, like on a video chat, because we never talked. So that was fun. And yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Gustavo, for being so awesome.
You're welcome. At least she doesn't tell me, oh, I thought you're like taller. Or, I thought you were more Brazilian. What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So thank you, guys.
Or something.
So we would say goodbye to the viewers.
See you guys.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you all.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See ya.